Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make these squares, these granny squares, how to crochet them. If you already know how to make these, you can go ahead and skip that part and just go to where I show you how to put them together to make the knit bag. So you need 3 colors of yarn if you want to do it the way I did it. So here I'm just starting my granny square with making a little knot. And I'm using a crochet that is 2.5 millimeter. Chaining 4. Now you want to go into the very first stitch that you made. To make a ring. So you're just going to do a slip knot. Just like that. And now you're going to chain 2. And then go into that little space. And now we're going to go into the space of our 4 stitches with a double crochet, so that's yarn over and putting the hook through the gap and pulling the thread through, so you have 3 loops on your hook. And then you're going to do yarn over and pull that thread through 2 loops. So you have 2 loops and yarn over and pull that through both loops. And that's a double crochet. So you're going to do that one more time. And yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. And then we're going to chain 2. And do another set of 3 double crochets in the same space. And the last one. So what we're doing here is we're making the corners of the square. So we're gonna do this sequence of the 3 double crochets 2 more times. So now we're gonna chain 2 and do 3 more double crochet, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets and chain 2, and then we're gonna gather it. And I'm also trying to hide the tail. It's a bit difficult to see. And then chain 2 and 3 more double crochets in that same little space. So now we're going to chain 2. And go into where we made the 3 chains, that little space, and just make a slip knot. And that is the first round. So I'm just going to cut this yarn and change the color. Now I'm just going to hide the tail by making another slip knot. Cutting off the tail that I already did hide. And I'm just going to pull it through some of the loops to hide it and conceal it so that it won't break. So I'm just going to leave it at there for now. So now I'm going to do a round with this light yellow yarn, just attaching it. In one of the corners and making a knot by pulling both ends of the yarn through that loop, just like that, and pushing the tail down. I'm going to chain I just chain 1, hide the tail, and I do a double crochet in that space, which is our corner. And I put another double crochet in the same space. So now we're going to go into the next corner with our hook and do 3 double crochets. And then chain 2. And do 3 more double crochets in that same corner. And that's the sequence that we're going to do all around this square. So just go ahead and finish the square with the 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and then another 3 double crochets. I'm hiding the tail from the previous round by just holding it back and crocheting over it. So now in the corner where we started, we're going to put 3 double crochets in and chain 2, and then we're done with this round. And here I'm just hiding the tails and cutting off the tails that I already did hide. So now for the next round, we're going to use the pink yarn, and we're just going to do what we just did. So putting 3 double crochets, chaining 2, and another 3 double crochets in each corner. And we're also going to put 3 double crochets in the spaces along the side, as I'm showing you here in just speed mode, because we're just doing the same thing. So now we're just going to finish the round by doing 3 double crochets and chaining 2, and then connecting it like we did the other rounds. And that is and when you've done that and cut the tails, then your square is done. And I made a variation of 3 different squares with these 3 colors, but you can do whatever you want to. If you just want to make them the same, that's totally fine, that's up to you. But you're gonna need for this back 65 squares, so this is quite a lot, but I just made them in the evening watching some TV, so I had quite fun with it. So here I'm showing you the different ones that I did, and I'm going to connect them with the light yellow yarn, and here's all my squares. But I didn't first want to make them around the net. I got that idea later. I'm going to show you that in just a second. And I realized that I needed to make even more squares than these. So here I'm just lining it up the way we're going to gather them with the light yellow one, like I'm trying to show with my crochet hook. But I'm just going to show you step by step. So we're going to make a knot. And you're going to need 5 squares in each row. Right now I only have 4, but I'm going to change that in a moment and you're going to see that. So making a knot and just taking the first square that I'm going to use and putting that, attaching it in a corner. Slip stitch. And I'm hiding the tail, chaining 1. And making a double crochet. and another double crochet in the same corner. So just like when we did the square, kind of the same pattern for some parts. And going into the next space, doing 3 double crochets. And in the next space, we're also going to put 3 double crochets. So that's the side. And in the corner, we're going to put first 3 double crochets. And then we chain 2 and do another 3 double crochets. So it's just like when we did the other rows of the square. And you want to do this sequence till you reach the other corner. So I just did that, and I'm just doing here the last corner and just putting 3 double crochets in that before I'm going to connect it to the next square in the row. So now that square is done. And we're going to take the next in a row and go around it just like we did, skipping that bottom edge. We're not going to do anything with that. So now we're going to chain 2 and go into the corner of the next square with a double crochet. This one is giving me a hard time. So go into that corner with a double crochet. So that's how we're going to connect these squares. And then we're going to put 2 more double crochets in that same corner. So now we're going to keep connecting it. So we're trying to show you. So we're pulling our hook through the gap So we're pulling the hook through the gap on the square we just did, yarn over and pull that through, so that we do a slip stitch in the gap on the square we just did. And then we're just going to go directly into the next gap on the square we're working on and do 3 double crochets. And that's how we're going to connect it all the way down on this side. So again, we go into the gap of the first square, do a slip stitch, and then just do the 3 double crochets as you normally would. We're going to do the slip stitch again in the gap of the first square and going into our corner and do 3 double crochets. And we're not going to be joining them in the tip of the corner. We're just going to do a normal corner, so that's just chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets. So that's it, and now you're just going to do the rest of that square like we did the first one. So that's just the sequence with the 3 double crochets all around. So you're going to do that to that corner where I'm pointing, and then we're going to do the gathering with the next 2 squares like I just showed you, and that is the first row of the gathering process. So you have to watch it back, just go ahead and do that. It can be a bit tricky in the start, but it's really simple and you will get the hang of it really fast when you do it yourself. So you're going to stop in that corner. So just did that, and this is where I decided that I wanted to do the over a net bag. So I took the next square, and I'm going to do 5 squares for each row, like I told you earlier. So I'm just going to do this square too with the same process and stop in the upper corner, upper left corner. So just did that, and that is the first row completed. So you can see it fits the bag. Now we're going to do something a little different to connecting the next row. So you're going to chain 2, just making space. chain 2, and go in with a double crochet to the corner of the next square you want to connect. And then do 2 double crochets in that corner. And then we're just going to be connecting it like we did with the first row. So that's a slip stitch through this space where I'm pointing. And then 3 double crochets. And now another slip stitch. And 3 double crochets. And a slip stitch. So it's very much the same that we're doing. So you're gonna get the hang of it really fast. It's really easy. It might look a little complicated, but just because I'm really bad at filming it, I'm sorry for that. And then 3 double crochets in the corner. And now we're going to go into this corner where I'm pointing. We're not going to go into that. It's just above where we're working. We're going to go into that across. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to show you. We're going to just chain 1. Go into that corner. And make a slip stitch. And you can see that our little corner is coming together. So now we're going to go in, we're not going to finish that corner of the square we're working on, we're just going to go into our next square with a double crochet. And putting 2 more double crochet in that corner. And doing a slip stitch and just attaching it like we did with the first square in this row number 2, and I'm just trying to show you that you're going to do the same thing all the way across till you get to this point, and I will meet you back up there. So it's just the same, and we're going to skip all of these corners that I'm pointing out. We're not going to touch those, just attach them in all the other corners like I just showed you, and I'll meet you back up. So I just did that, and it looks like this. As you can see, in these corners is still not attached. So right out here, this corner we are going to attach, because this is our end of the row, kind of end of the bag even. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, and now we go into this corner to connect those, because it is the edge. So we're going to do that all the way on this side. So just pulling that through, making a slip stitch and chaining 1. And then I'm do another 3 double crochets in the corner. So it's very much the same thing that we're doing. So around this square here in the end, I'm just going to be doing 3 double crochets in all these spaces, and in the corner we're going to chain 2 between the 3 double crochets, and we're going to continue that till we get to that point. And I just go ahead and did that. So we are here in the corner, I'm chaining 1, and now we're going to use that little corner that we skipped. So we're going to go into that, and this can be a pit tree. So I'm pulling that yarn up and turning it around, putting my hook through that, and I'm going under where our other gathering is, and I'm going back into the loop with my hook and pulling that through. And chaining 1. No, doing a slip stitch and then chaining 1. And that is the hardest thing you're going to do for this bag. It's really not that difficult. I'm going to show you once again in a second. So now we're just going to attach, going to the next square with the 3 double crochet. Just like this, And now we're gonna be going for the rest of that square that we're working on, just like we did in the first row. As you can see, it kind of looks like that. So it's slip stitching and all of that. So I just did that. As you can see, it's just the same thing as we did in row number 1. And I'm just going to show you how to do the corner again. So I'm doing a chain 1. And going under. And pulling that loop through. And then a slip stitch. And then a chain. So that's the corner. So besides that, this row is just like the first row. So all through this back, you're just going to be doing row number 1 and row number 2 with this little corner thing also. Gonna just continue doing this sequence through this row. Remember to also get the corners like I just showed you. So yeah, just go up and around just like we did in this first row. Also you get to that point and I meet you right back up there. And we're gonna attach the next row just like we did in row number 2. So it's just the same. So just finish that row. As you can see, it looked like this. And now I'm going to be attaching the next one like we did in row number 2. So that's the exact same thing. You can go back and watch that part if you want to, just to really get the hang of it. So you're just going to continue doing row number 2 and row number 1 with the little corner gathering all through this bag until you've connected all of the 65 squares. And when you've done that, we're going to go here to this last row like I'm trying to show here, and here we're going to also join the corners because it's the edge. So beside that, it's not different. So you're just going to go into the corner space and this is the very last row of the bag. That is why we're doing this. There's not going to be another row. So we're doing a slip stitch. And a chain 1. And 3 double crochets. And you're just going to continue finishing this round with doing this, just like in round number 1, but also connecting the corners. And I meet you up when we've done that row. So now it'll look like this. I also just did it down the side. So we're going to do the edge of the bag now. So it's pretty much the same, just going in through with 3 double crochets. Finishing off the corner. chain 1, and go into this little space and slip stitch, chain 1, and then just 3 double crochets in the corner, and you're just going to do that all the way down the side of the back. So you're just going to continue what I just showed you all the way around to this point where we originally started with the gathering. And I meet you back up when we've done that. So just did that, and now we're going to connect it with just slip stitching the 2 sides together. So we are in the corner where we just stop, and I'm folding it. So you can see this is the wrong side turning up and the right sides are kissing. Actually, I'm trying to show you. So I'm just gonna pull the hook through and do slip stitch. So you're pulling it through loops of both sides. And doing slip stitch. She's just gonna do this all the way around, all the way down. So you just want to continue doing this all the way down and also on the other side. And when you've done that, all you have to do is flip the bag inside out, and you can just hand sew it on the net, and then the bag is completed. I want to thank you all for watching. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video. It will mean a lot to me. So thank you all for watching.